Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I will welcome you. And regarding the presentation, you can ask any question relating to this and which is covered in the presentation or not, or general or anything, whatever you want to ask. Basically, in this presentation, I focused so that you can become aware of the operation and anything regarding to operation from the point of view of maintenance, corrective or preventive. So first of all, I will introduce you with the system, and you can ask the question, and when you become familiar, then there is operation. Modes of operations will be there, and then I will be discussing the maintenance. This will be corrective or planned and things related to the maintenance. Jeddah station, we have 96 curtains, and anybody who will be working on the system, he should be aware of the system, where we have deployed this and how many curtains do we have. These curtains in the stations, they have named them like this. In the layout, you can find these curtains. If we have when we have layout drawings, anybody can find this area. For example, this is retail level 1 0551A. So first of all, they will know from this list that which curtains do we have and which retails, because every place in the station, every retail or room or store don't require the fire curtains. So this is a list of 96 curtains where we require, and we have installed the fire curtains for all the levels, level 1, 2, 3 and 4, and parking areas in both entrances. This list is including all the curtains. We have 96 curtain assemblies inside the station. A little bit about fire barrier, fire curtains. This fire prevention strategy, it is a passive strategy for fire preventions. Like we know all systems, sprinkler system and FM200, and this every system, the purpose is to control the fire, to contain the fire. So these fire curtains, this is also part of the smoke control strategy. These fire curtains, what actually they do, this is a fabric which is fire rated, and they are deployed in case of any fire. When there is any fire, these curtains are deployed, and they can contain the fire. Basically, we need what we do with the fire curtains, we control the spread of fire and smoke to prevent the leakage or spreading of the smoke, because the smoke is the most dangerous thing during a fire event. So these curtains will be used as a part of smoke and heating, heat exhaust ventilation system, shafts, along with the ventilators, sprinkler system and other systems to control the fire. They will be used in coordination with other systems. I mean to say, if there is a fire, the curtains, they will deploy, they will try to contain the fire, and meanwhile the other system also attached to this fire strategy, like sprinkler or something, they will try to diminish the fire or reduce the fire. So basically these curtains, the purpose is to contain the fire, to reduce, to gain the time, to control the fire. Basically, why we installed here, if God forbid, if there is an event of fire in one area, it will not go to other areas. So that is the reason the curtains are installed in the station. Some applications everywhere now they are using, wherever we have buildings, warehouse, healthcare, education, transport, anything. This is about the fires, means why we use the fire curtains. These fire curtains, actually what they do, they slow down the spread of smoke, and then they help the passengers or people in the area to evacuate, because due to smoke and this, if they cannot find the way, visibility is affected by the smoke. So in this case, they also help people to evacuate, to protect the people basically. And then any emergency service compartmentation means if the fire is in one area, it should not go to other area, so that the other areas are not affected.
So it's directing the smoke.
Yeah, also you can see here they will contain the smoke in the any atria area, so that smoke will be there. And meanwhile, as I told you, the other system, for example heat, the smoke acceptor, they will start working, and until this they will contain, they will direct them towards the natural exhaust, or if we have exhaust system in place. So they are designed like this. So their basic purpose is to stop and the smoke spread and smoke and fire spread. This is a little bit introduction for that. Now this system mainly it consists of following components. The basic component is named is fabric. This fabric is a fire rated fabric. It is stainless steel reinforced material according to these standards. If you can see, is BS 476, and now there is 7346 standard. This is just means some technical thing, just to mention that these curtains should be in accordance with some standards, so that it can withstand the fire, and the fire rating is from 1 hour to 4 hours. Means if there is a 1000 degree centigrade, then the curtains they can withstand 2 hours. In presence of 600 centigrades, the curtains can withstand up to 4 hours. So this is a fire rated fabric which will contain the fire and
So
fire
could
radiations.
you repeat it? The fire, the temperature is 1000.
Yeah, when there are different fire ratings. It depends on the application or requirement, that how much fire rating do the client needs. Second thing is roller and box. This is also a steel assembly. It is a steel head box, galvanized, so that it is not affected by fire or this paint. Galvanized assembly, and there is a roller. On this roller, the curtain will be wrapped up, and it is simply a roller assembly. It will include a head box and a roller, and the curtain will roll on the wrap on the roller, and it will be contained inside the head box. In case when there is no fire situation, it will remain inside the head box assembly. And similarly, there is bottom bar. Actually, bottom bar is the this contains the weight, because these curtains they function under the gravity fail-safe system. They are gravity fail-safe system. When there is any emergency situation, they come down under the gravity. Means you don't need to operate anything. Simply when there is an event of fire or something, then they will come down under the gravity. They will drop down.
The motor will not operate during emergency.
Yeah. So when it is coming
there's
down.
There's load and
Yes.
And the fire curtain.
Yes.
The steel one.
Yes,
I
sir.
remember that one. The steel one. And the steel one by gravity pull down the.
Yes, curtains. Because normally during the operations, the brakes are applied to the motors, and the curtain stays up. If there is a situation.
So the motor will be on load 24 hours.
No, so it is magnetic motor. When the motor is directed to its full position,
Okay.
then a magnet brake is applied. Then MCU is only giving it 8 watt power, because this is 24 volt DC, so it is taking very minimum current. It is like in the stop position. It is not working all the time 24 hours.
For the motor.
Yeah.
It's a feature inside the motor or outside the motor?
No, inside the motor there is a mechanism, because this motor is encoder with the encoder. This is the DC motor with the encoder. When the curtains go up, then there comes a point when the roller is retracted properly, then motor apply a magnet brake. Then it acts like a permanent magnet and it holds it there. When there is an emergency situation, the power is cut to the motors, this nominal power even. When this is cut, the curtains come down. Because this is not working every time, this motor. Once it is in the stall position, means the roller is in its final position, then because this motor it senses the current. When the motor is up there is no load. When the load reduces, when it is fully rolled, then it apply magnet brake. Then it don't provide it power anymore. Then it keep it continuous 8 watt power. In case there is a problem in the system or anyway, there is fire or any power failure something, then these brakes are removed and the curtain comes down under the gravity due to this weight. It is not pushing it all the time through power to keep it there.
Diagram or
Yeah, this I can show you. This bottom bar and there is this assembly. Actually, this is not very much clear, but from here, regarding the motor data sheet, there is motor data sheet. We can check, and next I will give you even details about the motor and controllers. Then you will check means this how this works. Similarly, this is BBU. So this is the main battery backup unit. They call it battery backup unit, and it controls the motor control units, and then they control the motors. And one BBU, it can control 20 motors. I will give you the details. This is just BBU. We call it also power zone power controllers. Two names for the same. This we call BBU. This equipment. I will show you the details. Similarly, this is MCU, motor control unit, which I showed you there. It will control the motor. It will be connected with this BBU, and it will control the motor. And this next we have the motor, the main component. It is 24 volt DC motor. Normally when it is taking the full load when it is working, it is from 60 watt to 90 watt. It is the range motor power. It depends upon the design. Sometimes we use 60 watt motors for smoke curtains. For fire curtains normally we use 90 watt motors because they have more power. Because for fire curtains we also have side guides, so due to more power, and depending upon also the curtain fabric, because this fire roller, one roller will have approximate this bottom bar. It depends upon the weight of the bottom bar, but normally here, because we have fire curtains, we will be using upper limit motors, this 90 watt more power motors.
okay. The control circuit for the motor for this magnetic.
Yes.
It's connected with the motor, right?
Yes.
Not
Yes.
separate.
Yes.
So once control circuit. So once there's no current for this control for motor and this magnetic.
Yeah. Yes. Then it comes down under gravity. It is, I told you, it is encoder. It is not simple DC motor. It is with the encoder inside. Even later on, I can show you some motor which is because this new motors, we have some. If we have some faulty circuit, you can see inside there is a circuit board PCB inside, and it is encoder based. Then it connects to the this controller. This is motor control card. This one. Motor is controlled with this. So this also controls, because the inside there is the circuit. It senses the current load on the motor, and it is interfaced with this. So when the load current is changing, according to this, the speed is changing, and when it is finally retracted, go up all the curtain and load is up to certain limit, then it applies the magnetic brakes and then this circuit just provided approximately 8 watt of power just to keep it brakes energized.
Brakes.
If there is any problem, it cut the circuit.
Can we see the brakes here?
No, sir, it is inside. It is like magnet, like we can say magnetic coils. As soon as the power is cut, the magnet is removed.
Both sides magnetic will catch it.
Yes, it is inside mechanism.
Okay.
If there is a broken motor, I can show you the encoder. But means it is the coils. When the current is there, they become like brakes. They call it like brakes. It's not bushes or something. It is, they create magnetic field and it acts like brakes. But you can see the later on I can show you some from some faulty motor inside how it is.
Okay.
Here, no.
Only fire.
Yeah, fire curtains. We have some in Makkah.
For Jeddah and Cairo?
This 96 fire curtains only. In Medina and other places we have smoke as well. This fire curtain is actually fire curtains do both business. It's contain the fire and it also stops the smoke. And the smoke curtain, it is basically, as you mentioned, to direct the smoke and contain the smoke. As I mentioned, there are 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour. So this depends. If you are using it as a fire curtain or smoke curtain, it will affect the rating. Because for smoke curtains, you don't need that much high rating for 4 hours only, because you can control the smoke. But this fire curtain, they have to be directly in contact with the fire. So they are normally rated high. They need high rating for fire resistant. Yes. Medina and all we already Medina also.
Medina also you
Yes, sir.
you install?
Yes, sir.
But the type Medina different of Cairo and Jeddah, right?
Design.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. It actually
that
this.
fabric is folding with fabric, right?
Yes, there this concertina. This types of, it depends on the design. Here we just require this this fire curtains. They did not ask us to install the others. We have one other, but the consultant, they changed it with the same one, this fire curtain. Here. No sir, this fiber assembly, sorry, it's not that much clear, but they actually, from the manual, they make it also in the manual. So this is basic end plates. Actually, this is construction of this head box. You can see there. They have a diagram. This actually there is head box. The box we have on the side. When we go, you can see. So there are different parts of the head box. So we just named it like end plates on the ends of this, and then head boxing. Head boxing is a box assembly in which the roller will be there, and there is joiners. This is inside small components of ours. Front cover plate, because this there are 4 two direction which is open. I will show you the head box. There is front cover and bottom cover. There face cover and or bottom cover. This then there is a fabric main component fabric, and then there is motor brackets. Because this motor is attached to the roller and it is hanging fixed inside the head box with the brackets. So we named it as this motor brackets. Then there is roller tail brackets. This is also on the other side. This just means to explain you in case, because this inside there are small components. There is catch plates. Means sometime depending upon the roller size or weight. If it is large curtain, because curtain you ask, it can be 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter like this. So depending, sometimes we put catch brackets to give the sports. Just to name this means this retaining this poppers and bottom cover plate, and then the rivet. This means just these things. I'm explaining you this one roller assembly. This is for means. The mechanical purpose or means maintenance purpose. Later on, people if they want to refer what is the part of name of this this they should know this is catch breaker. Means sometime if they need any spare part or something, or they want to talk in the technical language. So this only side guides and channels. It is here side guides, because this curtain it shouldn't let the fire or smoke leak through this. So we put a side rail. This one is side rail. This. So the curtain it will travel inside this, so that it will be stretched and it will hold the fire or smoke tight, because smoke pressure or fire. So this is side guide. This is basic assembly for this you can say the hardware part for this roller assembly. There is a head box, and then this is the curtain and side guide and everything here. This is the other one. Yeah, this one is concertina. Sometimes we cannot put a spot anywhere, like you want me to install something here in the center, and you don't allow me to put this side guides, because in the door on both sides I can put the side guides, but here in the center I cannot put these things. So this technology is used where we don't have corners and we want to place this. Then this curtain is rolled inside. They stretch like this. You understand this? Their shape is like this. They stretch like this and then they come down like this. So we don't require any rail, side guide or rails. This we installed in Medina, which you were talking about. Here we don't have this requirement. This it's called concertina. This is also the assembly of the concertina. The details same like the other assembly. Now, regarding this electromechanical part, this parts, control parts, these are some terms. When you go through the manual, they use these abbreviations, these short names. There is PZCP, Power Zone Control Panel. As I told you, it controls power for the single zone. The same means this, alternatively we call it BBU, because battery backup unit, this unit, it will contains the backup batteries, because now the curtains are in place. If there is a power failure, then the curtain should not come down, because if there is a fluctuation or something. So to avoid this, these curtains are provided with the backup batteries. This backup battery is 12 volt 7 ampere, and they normally provide 30 to 45 minutes backup for the curtains. If there is power failure, they will hold the curtains until there is not an emergency situation, fire signal or something. Then because if there is a power failure, then the curtains will come down. So these batteries, they provide the backup for the power. So we call it BBU, backup battery backup units. And then there is ZIP, zone interface panel. It is not used here, but it is used to interface different zones. Sometimes some projects, some places, strategy require some interfacing between the different zones. Then use the zone interface panels. Then there is PZUC, power zone unit charger. It is used for the charging different areas. This BBUs, which is not required here. It is for some other purposes. Here we will be using only BBUs and MCUs and the other components, because we don't require ZIP and PZUC and PZUE same. This expander, power zone unit expander, this also, if like battery backups in the generator rooms or this emergency supply areas, this also expander, this for advance, if you want to expand one system, a capacity of 1 BBU, because 1 BBU it can hold up to 20 MCCs motors. It can drive 20 motors maximum. 1 BBU it can handle. So if you want to expand, sometimes situation is there, then we use this. PZUE. But one BBU, you will find here BBU CAM, BBU1, BBU2, BBU3, BBU4. So later on, means during the system interaction, you will listen the word BBU1. There is BBU1 for parking area, entrance, level A and level B. So this is actually BBU. One means it is driving one motor. And there will be BBU2. This is BBU2. This will be driving two motors because you can see two MCUs, right? There will be BBU3. It means this is providing battery backup for three motors, like BBU4 is same. And BBU CAM then comes. If it is, we have more than 4 curtains in an area, then we will be using a BBU CAM. A BBU CAM, it can handle up to 20 motors, and if required more something, then they use the expander. And now there is MCC and MCU. These are both same things, but name is different because just on the physical appearance. This is MCU, motor control unit. It is separate unit. You can see it has its own power here. It is installed as separate unit. So we just call it MCU, motor control unit. And MCC is this card. Sometimes what happens, you want to order, you find a problem in this card. Simply the name represent MCC is a motor control card. You don't need to take this. You don't need this assembly. You just need a motor control card. It is inside the MCU. But functions for both is, here we installed one MCC and this is MCU. This two abbreviations should not confuse.
In the system?
Yeah.
One system, one third curtain, we use both sides?
Yeah, actually if we use separate MCU, we will be using BBU CAM and one MCU. Now actually what happens, I have a BBU CAM. Our BBU CAM will not have this MCCs inside this. It will be driving the MCCU, right? There will be BBU CAM, then there will be MCU 1, 2, 3 up to 20, right? Then you need separate, with the BBU CAM you need separate MCU for each motor. But if you use BBU1, actually this is just, for BBU1, I know there is a one curtain. Okay, I install this MCC inside this motor control card, so I just put this one box. Actually there is not much difference. MCU I will install here where we have more than 4 curtains, we will be installing BBU CAM, right? But it doesn't mean if you have only one curtain you cannot use BBU CAM. You can use BBU CAM for one curtain, but then you have to supply this separate MCU, right? This card. BBU one will have its card inside, but BBU CAM you have to supply one MCC before the motor. You got my point?
Yeah, theoretical but practical. Later on we'll discuss about this.
Yes. For example, if this is a BBU CAM, I want to use a BBU CAM. I have only BBU CAM available. I will use a BBU CAM, and then 1, 2, 3 up to 20 motors I can drive. But between motor and BBU CAM is controller. I need to use an MCU for each motor.
Why?
Because BBU, its circuit will be driving the MCU. Just to make it convenient, there will be BBU1. I am sure I have one motor. They will put in one thing. I don't need separate MCU control units. You understand my point?
Yeah. Because in BBU CAM we are driving 20 motors.
Yeah.
That's why we need 20 separate.
We keep them separate.
Yeah. But in case if we have PPU1, so we don't need this one will be
inside
integrated.
Yeah. Because up to 4 we can put it here. Simply you can understand like
up
this.
to 4 MCCU.
Yeah, for up to 4 motors, we can fit 4 MCC cards here.
Okay.
We have on side. But if there are 5, 6 or more, then we go to the BBU cam and then we install separate MCUs. Now this, as mentioned, this BBU or PZCP. Now there is this, as I mentioned, it can use 1 to 20 motors, and it provides secondary battery supply, battery backup. That is the reason we name it BBU, battery backup unit. And this basic electrical characteristics, it runs on to 30 volt, and then the output is when we are it is on the mains power AC 230 AC, then it is providing the 24 to 27 volt DC for the MCCs, and if it is on the batteries backup, then it is providing up to 24, and 2 batteries are included with this, 12 volt, 12 ampere Henry or 7 ampere Henry, it can be both. Here we are using 12 volt 12 ampere, and the rail color is there 7035, just to mention as a specification. It is basically taking to 30 volt in input, and it will provide for MCUs or MCC 24 volt, because MCC will be getting its own power and the power from the BBU, but it will be getting 24 volt from the BBU. When I will explain later on this, you will understand how this the wiring and everything. But this is the main unit BBU which is there. This is 230 volt and normally closed contact. Yes, this fire alarm contact is, it is a volt free normally closed contact, so that normally it is closed, this contact. In case there is any fire event, we will receive a normally open signal and the curtains will operate. This is just specification of this BBU 24 volt DC to motor control unit. There are 2 test switches, as you can see here. Actually what we can do with them, there are 2 positions. One is for testing, to test bring curtain up and down, and then other is reset switch. If the curtains are down, then we need to make reset from this. We can make the reset from the BBU panel. This just to mention this, because I will show you, and even in the field, on the site, we will demonstrate this, how this test switch and reset switch will work.